Hey, Bills Mafia, guess what? It's wild card weekend, right? The Bills, the 11-6 Bills won the AFC East Division title. They're the number 2 seed. They were 6 going into the game against Miami down in Miami. They beat them 21-14, and here we are. They're the second seed, and they're hosting 10-7 Pittsburgh Steelers, who are on their third or fourth quarterback, Mason Rudolph. They finished 10-7 by beating the backup. Lamar and company didn't play, and so they beat them. They finished at 10-7. Actually, they have 3 teams from the AFC North in the Ravens, the Browns, and now the Steelers. So we get to play them at home at Highmark Stadium. And just as I predicted, the Bills would beat Miami. They held them. They outgained them in time of possession, and in the second half, the defense just shut them down completely. They had 5 possessions, not one of them more than 3 or 4 plays per possession. Shut them down. Special teams Hardy had a 96-yard punt return that really sparked the defense, or offense rather, and then Josh and company closed the game out in the second half. So today's game, because of the weather, and as we speak now, it's like 1:15 here. It's still emergency conditions in Buffalo. Visibility is very poor. Whiteouts, 40 to 50 mile winds, snow accumulating, and that's all supposed to clear up today, tonight, and tomorrow. And so it's supposed to be very little snow. It's going to be cold tomorrow, 20 degrees. Then the teens, maybe in the mid-teens, but the wind is going to be that 10 to 20, which is normal for Highmark Stadium and Orchard Park area. So it should be no issue with getting there or getting home. The state and HOCO still got to lift driving conditions, emergency driving conditions, but I think that would be good to go because things are supposed to get better. But last night was the AFC Wildcard games that was last night in Kansas City. The number 3 seed Kansas City beat Miami 28-7. Miami played just like they did against us. It was cold there and windy, but they didn't have the snow, but they beat them, and very little offensive production, and Kansas City just wore them down. So they are the number 3 seed, and where do they go for the next game? Because the Texans won. They beat, at home, the Texans beat Browns, who had come in as a heavy favorite. They whipped them like 45-16, something like that. Flacco threw 2 picks, 6s in a row. And so the Texans now have to go to the Ravens, play in the elements in Baltimore and play them. Hey, C.J. Stroud is playing really good. They got a shot to beat the Ravens. So here we go. So look, I could get into the keys of the game and stuff, but this is playoff. This is what the Bills we're wanting, right? This is what they believed in. They're in playoff mode. They've been in playoff mode for 5 weeks. They ain't gonna lose this game, no matter how it goes. Like Miami, people thought they were gonna lose against Miami with the turnovers in the beginning of the first half, but they willed their way. They outplayed. They have the talent for Steelers, so they're gonna win this game, and they're gonna win it by just playing good football and smash football. Steelers are gonna try to keep the game close and run the ball, and the Bills aren't going to allow them to run the ball. All right, they're going to try to make them throw it at Mason Rudolph, and they're going to get some turnovers and sacks, and they're going to win this game. So, and because when they win this game, they get what they want. They get a home playoff game, a division game against the Kansas City Chiefs. So that's about it. And I think it'll be with Gabe Davis out, to continue to throw the ball to Kincaid and Shakir, who had good games last week. And Diggs broke out last week. He had 7 catches for 80-some yards. I think they're going to have him. He's going to have a good game. I think Cook, who dropped the pass in the end zone last week, I think he's going to make amends. So the Bills offense, Hardy had a punt return, a 96-yard punt return. Field conditions are going to be good. They don't have a very good punter, the Steelers, so look for special teams to perform well. They got a good kicker, the Steelers, but we get touchdowns. Field goals don't do anything, and so they don't have the horsepower, the talent that we do, and our defense is playing special right now. How about that? The the turnovers that we're getting, the interceptions, against good teams. We held the Dallas and Miami, the 1 and 2 highest scoring teams. We held them to like 3 points or 6 points and 14 points. I mean, we shut them down. So I look for that. I look for the Bills to have a good game. My predictions. Here's my predictions. Josh is going to play good. I think he's going to have 250 plus yards. He's going to have a couple touchdowns, and he's going to run the ball like he did last week in Miami. And he might get a push touchdowns, 1 touchdown, and I think he's going to have over 40 yards. Shakir and Kincaid, and probably Dawson Knox. They're going to have well over 100 yards passing, receiving. And they're going to get a touchdown between Kincaid and Shakir. They're going to have a touchdown. Look for Knox to be involved more and Cook. And obviously, I think that Diggs is going to have a good game and should have more than 75 yards and a touchdown. I predict that Diggs is going to get a touchdown. So defense is playing well. I think they're going to have, just like last week, I think what's going to be key, I think combined 4 or more turnovers and or sacks are going to happen in this game against Mason Rudolph, right? They're going to get some sacks of him, and they're going to get some turnovers. In total, 4 or more, maybe 5 or more. And my final score prediction is the Bills 27, the Steelers 13. Where else would you rather be? Right here, right now. How about next week when Mahomes and company come to Highmark Stadium? Go Bills.